Yo, what's going on, Blackish University? It's your boy B coming at you with another reaction. We're doing it a little bit different. We're jumping back to some spoken word. This is something, it's called What a Woman Must Do by Ursula Rucker. And I was just, I like old school deaf poetry jam with Most Def. And man, it's so lyrical, right? For someone who loves lyrics, it's like hearing it without the beat, and it's poetic. And listening to people like Kanye and Common, that's been sick. So I was exploring, and I started to hear this, What a Woman Must Do, and it was just starting to sound so deep. So I heard the first two lines, and I was like, "Ooh, no, no, no! I'm gonna do a reaction to this one, and actually try to do a breakdown of the lyrics." Where a lot of these, man, shout out to the people doing spoken word, because a lot of these are very intellectual, or they try to use a lot of bigger words when they write stuff. And it's it's definitely a test you on your vocab skills. So hey, without further ado, let's get into this. What a Woman Must Do.
Ursula.
And of course, I got the lyrics here for you guys, or the words.
Until you walk, run, fight a mile in her shoes, don't you dare stand in front of me and tell me what a woman must do. She must swing from chandeliers for undeserving spouses and paramours who deny her suffrage by day but crave and praise her womanly wiles by night. Good enough to fuck, but not good enough to vote.
Ooh,
She must
damn.
go from the beauty of Africa to the horrors of Massa, go from titties dangling bare and shameless to being branded licentious, temptress, embarrassed. Go
Licentious, that's another way, if I'm not mistaken, to say promiscuous, or like she's having sex, right? She's been branded, she's out there being promiscuous, she's a temptress, she's embarrassed, is really what she's saying.
from land of yams and hee-haw to land of cash crops and seller's block, go from God.
The land of yams, I believe there's a village in Africa, so she's saying, like, we went from the land of yams and heat hot, right, where it's nice and warm, to the land of cash crops and seller's block. So look at where you took us from to where you brought us, right? Let me run that back a bit and make sure I didn't miss anything. But and I believe the actual name for yams actually comes from an African word. My family is from more like the Senegal, the West Coast, or what they call the Ivory Coast of Africa, with the Cape Verde Islands. And I believe it's Niami. Someone can leave it in the comments if you're familiar, but I believe that's where we get the word actually, yam.
To land of cash crops and seller's block, go. Eris, go from land of yams and hee-haw to land of cash crops and seller's block, go from God names to no name to his names.
Wow. A lot of people, if you're familiar with Malcolm X in the Nation of Islam, right, he changed his name just like Muhammad Ali did. His real name is Cassius Clay. But Malcolm X was always famous for saying, like, yo, that's not your name. That's the white man's name. If you go back in time, your family was at a plantation, and this is where they got their name from. So by you using that name, you're constantly showing respect to that man or that family that enslaved you. So she's saying we went from God names, right? We went to names like Muhammad, and we went from God, names that meant something, to no name, because we were just slaves. We just didn't mean anything. We weren't even considered men. We were property to his names. And it's just this deep on a whole other level.
Block, go from God names to no name to his names. Now black, now inhuman, freedom stolen, family stolen, now beholden but still golden, field howling, and ain't I a woman, and ain't I a woman? What a woman must do. She must wipe away tears and reclaim strength after rape, abortion, lover's betrayal, husband's abuse, tricking to buy baby shoes. She must be called a muse, which is just a synonym for use. Put upon pedestals, dainty and protected, and because of that disrespected, Victorianized.
Wow. There's a lot there. She's saying She must wipe away tears, right? And reclaim her strength and her power. Why is she crying? She's saying after rape, abortion, lover's betrayal, childbirth, child's death, husband abuse, tricking to buy baby shoes. There's so many things that put together a woman, let alone a minority woman, let alone a minority woman in the hood who's struggling. And she's just talking, tricking to buy baby shoes. For those that aren't from the hood, tricking is like when you're off with you're doing something strange for a little change, You're out there tricking, doing what you can, right? Baby needs some shoes. Mama needs a house. Baby needs some shoes. Guess what I'm going to do, right? Man, deep.
For use, put upon pedestals, dainty and protected, and because of that disrespected, victorianized, victimized, made a paradox of famous anonymity, left to go insane with too much femininity, staring at the yellow wallpaper, her heart open, her legs open, warm and welcoming, waiting for phone calls that never come, waiting for words of appreciation that never come, waiting for equal pay that never comes. It just never comes. Waiting for love, waiting for acknowledgement, not judgment, waiting. And when seeking or achieving any place of power, reduced to labels like concubine, cunt, bitch, whore, stunt, witch, dyke. And none of those are her name, and none of those have ever been her name, your name, or my name. What a woman must do until you walk, run, fight, just 1 mile in her shoes. Don't you even dare stand in front of me and tell me what a woman must do.
Yo, those lyrics were a little bit off, but that was deep. That was just something, just from not, obviously not a woman, but just being a minority man and understanding her perspective. It's just deep on a whole other level. It gets you thinking about how much women have to go through, and that strength. We think, where does it come from? But on this channel, we like to discuss the real history of our country. And man, I got to tell you, I'm not a very emotional person, but I was sad when I was reading about if you can only imagine how hard it was to be a slave, but being a good-looking minority woman, a black woman, a beautiful black woman, voluptuous, and and just imagine that. Imagine how they were getting taken advantage of sexually, and how they were made to mass produce other slaves. It's sickening, and it's just think about the strength that you need to have, especially if you bring a baby girl into this world, knowing the world that you're bringing her into back then. It took a lot of strength, even to raise a boy. So it's I'm sure it's no coincidence that black women, minority women in general, but specifically black women, are so strong because they've always had to be, because there was no other choice. Just awesome. I love spoken word that gets you thinking about things, anything that can develop a conversation that can stimulate your mind more so than just wow. You know what I mean? It's like, I love that. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's check out some new music, spoken word, movie clips, quotes, whatever it might be, but something that brings value to the way that we live our life. Thanks for checking out the video.